Welcome to Canadian Innovators, the show that celebrates innovation, entrepreneurs, and the Canadian spirit. I'm Jocelyn, and every week we introduce a new entrepreneur or expert in the economy to tell their stories and unpack the challenges of keeping jobs in Canada, as well as share ideas for economic growth and prosperity. The Toronto election is in full swing. This election will set the stage for municipal elections that will follow. All over North America, we see the decline in big cities such as Chicago and Los Angeles. Rising crime, unaffordable housing, and drug abuse are all on the rise, and Toronto is not immune. Joining me to discuss and back for a return engagement is Mayoral Candidate Anthony Furey. Anthony is an internationally renowned journalist and author of the book Pulse Attack. Anthony has also been the vice president of True North Media. Please welcome back to the program Toronto Mayoral Candidate Anthony Furey. Welcome to the program, Anthony.
Thanks, Jocelyn. It's great to be back.
Now, let's talk about the city of Toronto. In your view, what are the critical issues faced by Toronto?
Well, we've got a couple big issues. You hit upon it, Jocelyn, there in terms of Toronto sliding in the direction of San Francisco, Seattle, Vancouver. Oh man, heartbreaking scenes we see from those cities. At the same time, it's becoming increasingly difficult for regular folks to get by when it comes to the rising cost of groceries, affordability issues. And as mayor of Toronto, I want to tackle all of those issues head on. We're going to be saying no to a lot of these proposed new fees and taxes that disproportionately harm low-income persons, but are also disincentives for business investment and job creation. And at the same time, how can we have a prosperous city and one that's attractive to entrepreneurs and job creators if we have an unsafe city? So we're going to be doing a lot to tackle that as well.
So, Anthony, how did we get here? What policies has led to this decline?
Oh, geez, I think it's been a number of things, a series of many things. I often say we need to have a conversation about who really runs this city. Is it just the big corporations, the elite lobbyists, and the fringe activists who don't really speak for regular folks? Yet just a dozen of them show up at City Hall kicking and screaming. City Hall caves to their demands. We shouldn't be held captive to these sort of fringe ideologies. And I think, unfortunately, that's played part of a role in how City Hall has migrated away from the concerns of everyday individuals, small and medium businesses. And that's a big part of the problem. One example, as you know, is I want to deal with these drug injection sites that are proliferating, and I want to push people more towards drug treatment so we can really clean up what's going on in our streets.
So how did these activists get so much power, and how do ordinary Torontonians push back against this and really get their voices out there to be heard?
Well, I think regular folks are just busy living their lives. You know, hockey moms, soccer dads, folks stuck on the highway, getting home in all that terrible traffic, businesses, entrepreneurs who are just focused on making the sale, focused on looking after their employees. They are focused on doing just that. Whereas I do think we have a situation increasingly in cities across North America where professional activists, even though there's not many of them, they are able to get action on their files because they are professionals at it. Whereas the regular folks, the silent majority, is just too busy being, great citizens, paying taxes and following the laws and looking after their families. I want to reverse that, and I want to be the chief voice for all those individuals. And I want to make it clear to some of these radicals that they don't actually represent the regular folks, and that we need to see a realignment there in priorities. I want to stand up for the average folks once again.
So of all of these issues, which are really important, which do you feel is the most pressing if you were to be mayor? What one would you focus on first?
Well, one of the big things I want to do right out of the gate, we're going to commence a 90-day review of all the things the city's getting up to make sure all the activities that the city's doing are laser focused on providing value. Because right now there are other candidates who are out of the gate saying, we're going to do tax hikes. And I got to tell you, Jocelyn, there are reports from City Hall that a number of these councillors running for mayor have approved proceeding with that talk about a municipal sales tax. Wow, can you believe it? Road tolls on the Gardner and DVP for Torontonians, for people who live in the outlying suburbs. Also talking about a commercial parking levy where anybody who owns commercial real estate or rents commercial real estate is going to have to pay $500 million combined, all these businesses, to city coffers just for the sin of having a parking space in front of their facility. And I am going to be the bulwark that stands strong and says we're not actually going to be hosing regular folks. Instead, we're going to be following best business practices and looking after our own books.
So we're going to take a quick break, and when we return, we're going to dive back into Anthony's solution for a better Toronto. You're watching Canadian Innovators. Do not go away.